So, welcome back. Today I think I'm gonna do the second episode of the What If. That again, I think I'm just gonna keep these more review, ranty, not doing clips. Monetization's a real thing, so I just want to make sure that I can keep videos up, and the things that I say I can keep up because it's not other people's content. It's not some corporation coming after something. So, second episode. I like the premise. I like the what ifs. It's very comic book. It's very old school, like 90s Marvel. And what if this happened? Like, what if this character never became the character you know? Like, how would that story play out? And I like it. I mean, I like the dedication that they did. Well, actually, you know what? Before I do anything, huge spoiler in case you weren't aware, you somehow didn't find out about this. Leave now if you want no spoilers. There we go. So they do a dedication to Chadwick Boseman at the end, which I think is really nice. Similar to the way that they've been doing a lot of the in memoriam sort of stuff for Stanley. The way that they go about crafting the story of Black Panther as Star-Lord is one, original. Like I like the way that they do it. I like the way that they go about telling the story. But two, there are a lot of aspects of the live action, I guess we'll call it, the live action interpretation of Star-Lord that the Black Panther character kind of, like, he fits the mold in a way that seems more, they make a reference to it in the show of he's more of like the Robin Hood, like he takes from the rich and he gives to the poor, and he's using a lot more diplomacy to go throughout the galaxy, and he has the Ravengers as, instead of them being kind of pillaging throughout the galaxy, they're sort of seen as these saviors of a lot of worlds and a lot of conflicts. They even reference the idea that because a good argument wasn't given previously, Thanos decided to do the whole Infinity Gauntlet thing, and that the Black Panther, or T'Challa, before his Black Panther, like instead of being the Black Panther Star-Lord, T'Challa was able to convince him, hey, this plan isn't a great idea, why don't you join our crusade, and then we actually help people throughout the universe in a way that's a little bit more diplomatic, like we can actually affect change in a positive way. And it was interesting to see, Thanos in that light, kind of self-reflective, and seeing like, oh, well, like the plan, I see why it wasn't going to work out. Like, I still have my thoughts on it, like, ha 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 ha, it could have worked, but him going to the good side, as it were. I think that one of the things that was, and again, it's the difficulty with them doing it as I think it's 23 minutes. I think it's 23 minutes. So as a 23-minute short, it's a lot of information to pack into like a short, like, snippet of an episode. So you get the confusion. T'Challa's picked up. So he took over the part of the Chris Pratt character. He got picked up. They explained there was so much kind of crazy cosmic energy. We just assumed that was the right person that we picked up. And then they show the little like gag of like, that's the picture of the kid. You picked up the wrong kid. And I'm like, all humans look alike. So it's interesting seeing the Black Panther character, like that archetype, that thought process taken into an interstellar realm, and like how he would have affected like not only this galaxy but just in general, just everywhere he touches, this lore, this legend of his abilities kind of being seen by most people, and most people that ran into him in the show, it was a positive review, right? Like it was them saying like, hey, like, you're a great guy, like we think that you're doing good things. I will say it was a little, say odd, but a little like shoehorned in, because there's a little scene, a little snippet thing where they show the Howard the Duck character. They've referenced him offhandedly in a lot of things. Like he'll be like in the background in one of like the collector's cells, and just a quick aside, the Howard the Duck is just not a kid's movie. Like it's technically like it's the superhero Marvel movie because he's part of the MCU, but that is just that's If your kids haven't seen it and they're like, "Hey, I want to watch Howard the Duck," and you're like, "Oh, it's a duck who talks," don't let them see that film. It's not for children. But even when he comes into the story with T'Challa, like he gives it like, "Oh, that's where you're trying to go in order to get to what you're trying to get to," but I feel like there's another way they could have done it. Like there's another character they could have used to kind of facilitate. Oh, he's gonna get to where he's trying to go. Okay. In general, the story played out well. I spoiled a few of the aspects of it, but there are still things like if you watch it, you'll be able to see the full breadth of the story that they're trying to tell. It's a good story. I like what they're doing with the what ifs. I want them to do more. Each week, I'll probably do a rant review of the episode. I'll probably try and trail it behind, like, so not an immediate release, just so people have the opportunity to actually watch it, so that they are listening. It's not 100% spoiled. I will give away some things, so if you haven't seen it, you're waiting to see all of them. You might find out some information you don't want to know. But in general, I'll try to kind of trail it a little bit, so you're not, as soon as it comes out, I'm doing a review, you're watching it, and you're like, oh, well, now I know everything that's happening with it. But it's a good introduction into the concept of a multiverse, so they can explain a lot more in the MCU, and it's well done. Like the way that they're writing it, the way that they're animating it, it's a very well put together kind of mini-series, as it were, that they seem to be doing. So I'm still not 100% sure how many episodes they're doing. But again, if you like just kind of hearing these quick asides of my reactions to most of the things in the Marvel Universe, comment below any of the Marvel movies you'd like to see. There we go. Comment below any of the Marvel movies you'd like to see me sort of react to, and hear my thoughts on. If you'd like more in-depth in any particular character, let me know again in the comments, and maybe I'll put up like a rant review and just kind of talk about the character. Again, I'm not trying to get Marvel to take any of the things that I'm doing, because anything I'm doing would just be me thinking and kind of spouting stuff out. So, yeah, that's it.